Hey, this is Genevieve Stafford Jack, and today we'll be doing the life cycle of a property investing opportunity. What I mean by that, okay, we're going to be talking about how to find a property, negotiating, understanding when you're finding this property that that's not where you begin. You begin asking yourself, what strategy am I after? And if you're questioning what strategy, what are you talking about, chick? I want to say, stay for the course of this video, and we'll be going through the deal life cycle on raising funds, understanding your strategy, then going to research your area to see if the strategy that you are after is in fact what that area can deliver, and therefore getting you to the opportunity where you can find that property investing opportunity. So if you have been with me for a while, I know what you're going to do already. You're going to smash that like button because we are here and we are in it for the long haul. And if you are new to my channel, I would like to say, join me for the rest of this video, and by the end of this video, where you think this tickles my fancy and I'm going to stick around, I want you to hit the subscribe button so that you can get notifications, because obviously when you click on the subscribe button, you hit notifications and you'll get notified each time I post a video. I post videos Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and sometimes, but only sometimes, I intermittently come through with an extra video in the week. But look out for my videos Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, where I'll be sharing much more about property investing, the mindset that goes with property investing. So without much ado, let's get into the video. So earlier I said one of the questions you're going to be asking about is strategy. We're going to begin with strategy. Strategy is, are you looking for money that comes into your bank account on a monthly basis, which many refer to as a passive income, because you bought a property and you rented it out? So you've got a buy to let, and that buy to let is bringing you money in monthly? Or are you one of the investors that say, no, I like to fix things, so I buy broken houses, I renovate and I resell it, and I'm looking for a huge amount of capital? So is it capital or is it income? Or are you an investor like myself that had to start out using creative finance? Meaning, I need to go and find an investor to do a joint venture with, and they are the ones that are going to be the money bags, and you are going to be the one that does all the legwork in terms of your skill. You still need to understand, if you're doing a joint venture, are you after passive income or are you after capital? So either which way, your strategy will be able to determine your following steps. And that is step number one. So now that you've discovered you are after passive income, I want you, because you're excited like me, to smash the like button, because I too like passive income. But from time to time, I still sell off deals as a sourcing agent, and I'm able to make an active income. So nonetheless, we're going to move over to area. Area is focused all on which area are you interested in to actually make your money from the strategy that you've just chosen, right? So if you say, I'm going to go into an area and do a research of the area, you drive around the area, you just understand, what is that area made up of? Are there a lot more people that tend the area, or are there a lot more people that actually buying the property to stay in that particular property? Where am I going to? See, I'm so used to writing, such the teacher that I am. So nonetheless, you could say, in this area, what am I after? Here is a small snippet that I'm going to share with you, right? And it starts now.
Seen TPN, right? So I just did this afternoon. I got 2 of these reports, so I'll just show you guys how to get them. But I can show you the ones that I, for instance, drew today to analyze, right? Right, so you'll come in here, you'll go, you can buy reports, and then I always say I want to get the investor report, okay? And then there's a whole lot of investor report. This is the one I want, and I'll say generate report. And you're going to pay 28 rands for it, but it is totally, totally, totally worthwhile. Okay, no. So I go here, and then you can search it on a provincial, district, municipal, city, but I always mostly do suburb level. Right? And I'll type in my suburb. I want to check Durbanville, Hills, whatever, and you can zoom in to make sure that that is exactly the area that you've now identified for yourself for student accommodation or multi-let or whatever. Okay, cool, that's what I want. And you'll click buy now, you put your credit card details in and whatever, and it's then going to be available if you go to, let me just move that thing, to my reports. Yes, exactly that. So this is one that I actually generated today, 25th of June. And this was Florida that I went to check out. And now what this thing will show you is whether, especially if you want to, so TPN is very much geared towards buy-to-lets, multi-lets and that sort of thing, which is why I thought to show you this and give this to you as a bit of homework as well. Because on here, you can see, for instance, all the property types, how are they rented out, and what are the rental prices people are getting for them. And then you can see, is this, is this aligned to my strategy? Because if most of the people in the suburb are owners, then will rental properties really work there, right? If most people are just owning. So you'll see on this report here that 26% are owned with a bond and 11% are owned but paid off. But look at this crazy big amount of rental properties. 55% of all properties are being rented currently. And you'll see most of it is flats, right? And a few freeholds and so on that's also rented. But most, 55% of these properties are rented. So this is actually a nice rental strategy. And what you're going to be renting out is most likely flats, or there's also a bit of rooms that's being let out, right? So a flat lit, which is a part of a flat or something that's on a house. There's a flat lit or garden cottage or something that someone's renting out, or a room in a house, or on a flat, maybe even in a flat, there's a room that's being let out. So you see that there's quite a lot of people renting. So, okay, cool. This is actually a good area for rentals. But are people paying rent? Because that's one of the things that you want to know as an investor. And you want to know, are they paying rent and how much are they paying, and all of those things, right? So here you can look at, here it says to you the size of the properties, of the rental properties. Now these are rooms, right? So it's not, what is this? 5, 6, yeah, this is rooms. So it excludes bathroom and kitchens, and not number of bedrooms, right? So it could be a lounge, is also counted as a room. All right, so just keep that in mind. So 1 to 2 rooms is basically a bachelor's. 3 rooms is a 1 bedroom. 4 rooms is like a 2 bedroom type of thing, right? And you'll see here that so many flats, and 28% of all the rental properties have 4 rooms in the house, excluding kitchen and bathroom, or 3, or even bachelors. So there's a nice spread across all of these things. So any kind of rental property will actually work in this area. Tells you the household size, how many people are living on the property, 1, 2, 3 people, not more than 5. So if you cater for one, a mom and dad and a baby, or a mom and 2 kids, or something like that, a dad and 2 kids, or whatever the case may be, then that is sort of what you're looking at. And you'll see for single people, there's a lot of them that are renting flats, and they are renting rooms as well. Okay, cool. Next, you can see here are these Black, African, colored, Indian, white, other I don't know what other unspecified is, but you get those as well. I think those are sort of your foreign nationals and that sort of thing as well. Will go under other potentially. Right, so you can see sort of the type of tenants and are they renting flats and rooms and so on as well. Then it will give you language and education. So you see most of these guys are Afrikaans or English with a little bit of mix of other languages. And what education. So you can know that whoever you're going to rent to, what education do they have, and then that will determine also the sophistication of your tenant, right? This is the household head. I'm not going to go into that. Employment status. So great. A lot of these people are actually employed because we want to rent to employed people, right? Annual household income. And this is important because this determines what rent you can charge in the area, right? Because only 30%, 40% of your income is allowed to go towards rental, or should go to rental. Otherwise, you're going to stop paying rent at some point normally. It's just a risk factor. So here, I think this is just your property transactions. I don't want to go into all of this detail. I kind of want to just talk about the area and so on. So here as well as the investment property. So you can see this means that for how many people is this place actually buying properties in this area to rent out as a second property, as an investment property. Okay, so you can see here it's going close to 37% or so of all properties are being rented out. So people are investing in rental property in this area. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. And you'll see on this side, the dark green is 40 to 50% of that area is actually, or 30 to 40, 40 to 50, whatever these percentages is where in that suburb people are actually renting out. Investors are buying in the green areas. So anywhere in that area is where investors are buying units to rent out. And we know they're buying flats because most of these rental properties are flats, right?
Did you like that? That came from our group coaching, where Rieta was able to go through the TPN report to highlight if I'm interested in certain suburbs, where can I go to understand the demographic and everything that belongs to that particular area? Did you like that? I thought it was pretty cool. And if you thought it was pretty cool, I want you to, yes, you got it, smash the like button and drop in the comments below that that was a pro tip that you didn't see coming and you're excited. And next, what we're going to be touching on is, because we understand our strategy, we've looked at the tools that can help us, point us in the direction of, in the strategy, I've driven around, I've understood what's going on, I've gone onto TPN, and I really just kind of got this investor report that tells me in the area this is what is happening. And for this particular area, you've seen how Rieta had gone through the process, right? Now you understand your area. What you're going to do next is you are going to find your property, because that's how you eventually find your property. Because if you don't do the research around the actual strategy, you'll be shooting in the dark. Just imagine, right? You went and decided, because you like Florida and you wanted to do a flipping strategy where you buy, renovate, and sell. Looking at the report that we looked at right now, would that actually work for you? I'm not saying it will never, but I'm saying with the probability of looking at the different reports that are available, do you think that would work? In this case, I want to say it's always a 90-10, but more than likely it won't work. But there's that 10% that we cannot rule out because, of course, you go in, you do your due diligence, and you do what you need to do. So, in this world of property investing, you really just need to understand what is your strategy before you get started. The area that you are interested in, have you done enough due diligence? Have you gone into a site like TPN? TPN doesn't pay me to talk about them, but I surely share about them because these are the tools that successful property entrepreneurs use to ensure that the different strategies and the different areas that they are investing in is something that actually works for them. So now that you understand your strategy, what it is that you are after in property investing, the area that you're going to be doing your due diligence in, so that you can actually go and find that property investment opportunity. You now need to say, okay, cool, now that I'm finding it, right, what ways am I going to fund this particular deal? And earlier I mentioned creative finance. So I want to start there, right? That is where I started. I needed to start with creative finance, which is joint ventures, sourcing, and angel investors. I will, in weeks to come, unpack many of these different strategies. But what I want you to do is stay with me right now on the joint venture option. Joint venture means you and I come together, we formulate a young company, right? And we then put in different um, criterias. You bring the money, I bring the time and skill. This is how much you will get, this is how much I will get. If this partnership is not working, when we close and dissolve this partnership, what actually happens? So it's almost like you're going in with an entry criteria, meaning what is going to make this particular deal work, and then you have exit criteria, meaning if something goes pear-shaped, wrong, somebody, a bus hits somebody, or things are just not working out in the partnership, what will your exit strategy be, and who will own stuff? So hang with me with that particular example. So if you decide this is what you're after, you are going to find a joint venture partnership where that particular partner is interested in the strategy of either your passive income or your capital, depending on which one it is that you are after, so that you can go into it already on the same foot. And that's how you would be interested in raising funds for this particular property. So you go out, or you could say, you know what, I've got a good score, Jen. Unlike when you started in property investing, I've got a good credit score and the bank will give me money. So you go after that financing opportunity. Or you could say, you know what? I've got equity in my current property, right? Because the equity means the value of the property and what you have left owing. It's the difference. So the property could be 500,000 and you've got left owing 100,000. You're potentially sitting on 400,000 and then some, depending on how long you've had that actual property and the market value of those properties, right? So you could say, I'm sitting on some equity, Jen, and that's how I'm going to finance the deal. So already, because you've got the big picture of what your strategy is, you've done your research on your area, you're busy finding your property, you now got another box tick. I am going to finance my deal during X area, right? So that is what I call the life cycle of the deal. Because when you find the deal and you go through the numbers, you've done your research. Research is important, it's invaluable. As a property investor, you never buy the property that you've seen the first time. You go home and you do your calculations. You go home and you understand what that property is all about. And when you've got your research and your due diligence in order and you visited the property multiple times with somebody like a property inspector who would say structurally this property is good, or somebody like a contractor that's going to say, I'm going to renovate your property because you're buying a broken down property and you're going to renovate it, and you're going to say, okay, cool. When you're renovating, you're also not going to be looking at, am I going to buy a lime green paint for this particular property? No. In property investing, we go on what we call BMW: beige, magnolia, and white. Okay? When you see those colors are very attractive in the market. So if a family is buying their home for the first time and they're coming to a well renovated, very visually appealing property, others will call it aesthetically pleasing. It just means pretty. They move into a property that is hundreds, They're going to buy with their emotions, but because you an investor, you don't. You understand the life cycle of the deal because you are there to make money, not by ripping people off, but by actually understanding the status quo of a property and the best of what you can make that particular property, because there's so many different strategies within property investing that I will obviously somewhere along in my channel be touching on, because I believe that so many people need to understand there's so much more than just buy, renovate and sell, or buy, renovate, rent out that property to a single family, and that's the end of it. There's so many more strategies. I promise to unpack those strategies as we go throughout this time. So I want to say thank you so much for joining me today, and I trust that you understand now the life cycle of a property investment opportunity and what it can do for you, how to use certain tools to your disposal before you even drop out going and spending a whole lot of money unnecessarily. And if this is a video that is tickled your fancies and you say, you know what, I so am seriously considering getting into property investing, I want to say on my website, if you check in the description below, there is free training, over 3 hours of free training, where we had done that training at the beginning of the lockdown period to really understand what property investing is all about. So I want to say to you, I don't need your email address, I don't need you to register for anything. You'll just go onto my website and boom, you will find that particular training available for you. And if you somebody that says, you know what, Jen, I actually started my journey so long ago, I want to resuscitate it. I couldn't continue with property investing some time ago for whichever reason or the other. Then I want to say to you that there are causes that I do run, and there is coaching that I offer together with those causes to enable you to win. So I trust that you go into the description below and see where you find the link that says online courses. Those online courses are made for people beginning their journey, really wanting to get their foundation in order, because I trust and believe that once your foundation is in order, then you truly, as you learn and you grow as an investor, as a landlord, as a property entrepreneur, as you grow in these different spaces, right, then you will not have your foundation swayed. You wouldn't be thinking later on, what did I miss in my fundamentals, in my basics? This is where I help and ensure that your basics are solid, because when you move on to other coaches that are doing bigger and greater things, you are moving on with a solid foundation. So I trust that this video has been awesome for you. Click in the comment, type in the comments below what you think of this video. Type in the comments below if you want to bring in a friend to actually have a view of this video. And if you're really just audacious, you can click on the share button and share with your community this particular video and bring them into the family. Until the next episode, you take good care, and I'll see you on a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, where I release new and regular content so that you can get moving in your property investing journey.